Now next is there are many ionic compounds, because as you know, chemistry is full of exceptions, and the questions are generally set on that particular part only. So talking about that, as you know, there are certain ionic compounds are there, which of course the bond formation takes place by the transfer of electrons, but the properties is not that of ionic compound. The properties is more of covalent compound and less of ionic compound. Alright, there are many compounds. For example, let us say LiCl, lithium chloride. If you don't understand, let me write LiCl in this way. So it is lithium chloride. Lithium chloride, how it is being formed? It is being formed by the transfer of electrons. Lithium has got 1 electron in the outermost shell. Chlorine has got 7 electrons in the outermost shell. So lithium gives 1 electron to chlorine. Alright, it transfers, and hence an ionic compound is being formed. But lithium chloride, if you see the properties, it is not soluble in water. It is less soluble in water. Rather, I should say less soluble, not soluble, I should say less soluble in water, lithium chloride. It is not highly soluble just like sodium chloride or potassium chloride. It is less soluble. It does not conduct electricity. Alright, it does not conduct, because less number of ions are being produced in aqueous solutions. It does not conduct electricity. It has got low melting and boiling point. We can find it out. Alright, so it possesses the properties of more of covalent compound. Why? Now this particular, what you can say, this observation was observed first by Fajan. Alright, a scientist is there whose name is Fajan, we can say that. And he gave us a rule which is called as Fajan's rule. He gave us some postulates rather, and that is called as Fajan's rule. We can say that. It was observed by Fajan, this sort of. There are certain compounds there, even if it is ionic in nature, but they do not possess the properties of the ionic compound. They are more of covalent in nature than that of ionic. Alright, they are more of covalent in nature than that of ionic. Even then, the compound, what you can find is that the transfer of electrons is taking place. We can say that. Alright, now why is it so? That is we are going to study in the Fajan's rule. Alright, that is what we come to know in the Fajan's rule. So hence, we are going to study about polarizing power or polarizability. Polarizing power or polarizability, we can say that. Now what is polarizing power? You can write the definition. The power of an ion to distort the electron cloud of another ion. The power of an ion to distort, D-I-S-T-O-R-T, mean to change the state. To distort the electron cloud of another ion is called the polarizing power. And the tendency of an ion to get polarized by the other ion is called its polarizability. And the tendency of an ion to get polarized by the other ion. Alright, not one ion should have a tendency to get polarized, no? Otherwise how will you polarize it? Alright, so it is known as polarizability. Now you are thinking, what is polarizing? How will I polarize? See, generally non-polar compounds, I have said you, if the shape is this, because the charges are equally distributed. It is spherical. We consider it. In non-polar compound, the shape is this, the charges are equally distributed. Now when this particular compound will get polarized, let us say, then the shape will not be this, the shape will get distorted. Just now I said it, the shape will get distorted. Why? Because the electrons in the outermost shell will be pulled by another ion. It will be pulled by another ion, which will be closer to each other. I can bring it still closer. It will be pulled by another ion, we can say that. It will be pulled. This ion pulls the electrons which is present in the outermost shell towards itself, and as a result it gets polarized. Before that you can see this was the shape. It is non-polar. The charges are equally distributed. But when this ion comes closer to it, then what is happened is that it gets polarized. Polarized means the negative charges is pulled towards this side, and as a result, due to deficiency, this side becomes positive charges. So as a result, what we can say, two poles are created. One is negative and another is positive. Initially, no poles was there because charges was equally distributed. Now, as we bring this ion closer to this particular ion, what happens is that this ion pulls the electron towards itself, and as you can see, the shape get distorted. Initially, the shape was regular, but now the shape get distorted. And due to distortion of the shape, the charges are unequally distributed. And as the charges are unequally distributed, we get one negative and another positive poles. And hence, this is known as polarization. This is known as polarization or polarizability. Hence, I said the power of an ion to distort the electron cloud of another ion. So, this ion distorts the electron cloud of this ion, we can say that, is known as polarizing power. And the tendency of an ion, this ion also should have a tendency to get polarized. It should also have a tendency to get polarized, is known as polarizability. So, this particular rule is also called as Fajan's rule. This definition is also called as Fajan's rule, we can say that. Now, there are certain factors which affects the polarizing character of this particular molecule, we can say that. There are certain molecules which gets polarized. Alright. There are certain molecules. So there are certain factors which affects this polarizability. So what are those factors? Now I think you understood what is the meaning of polarization. From where I started, there are certain molecules, there are certain compounds, even if it is ionic in nature, but they do not behave as an ionic compound. Their properties do not match with the ionic compounds. Or I should say some of the properties matches, most of the properties matches with the covalent compound. Why is it so? For that reason we are coming to it. And who studied this for the first time? Fajan studied it. And hence this rule is called as Fajan's rule, we can say that. Now, what are the factors? The first factor, the small size of cation. The first factor is, you can write it down, the factors affecting polarizing power or polarizability. Got it? Factors affecting polarizing power or polarizability. Got it? So, there are certain, as I said, there are certain ionic compounds which behaves as covalent. In simple words, we can say. So, what are the factors due to which there are certain ionic compounds which behaves as covalent? That factor is one I have written it here on the board, small size of the cation. Now, if the cation will be small in size, then what will happen? The smaller the size of the cation, then greater attraction for the electrons of the anions. Like, see, this is a cation is smaller and this is anion is bigger. This is a cation, this is an anion. Okay? This is a cation I have taken. And this is an anion. Clear? So, as you can see here, cation is smaller, Li plus, and anion is chlorine. It is quite bigger. It comes in second period, it comes in third period. You will say second and third only. But second and third there is a huge difference. In second period, the maximum capacity of the electrons in the outermost shell is 8 and here it is 18. More than double, we can say. So definitely there is a large difference in the size of the cation and anion. Large difference. So cation is smaller, anion is bigger. We will come to that factor also now. So when the cation is smaller, it pulls the electron cloud of the anion towards itself more readily. We can say that. It pulls towards itself and hence greater will be its polarizing power. Due to which the polarizing power is greater, it increases, we can say that. So for example, that is Li plus ion pulls the chloride ions towards itself and hence it gets polarized, but it does not happen in case of sodium chloride, because sodium belongs to the third period, sodium ion belongs to the third period and chloride ion also belongs to the third period, so no polarization takes place in that case. But here due to the difference, the polarization is taking place. Here the cation is smaller and anion is bigger. Alright. Now second point is that large size of an ion, definitely. Large size of an ion. Because only cation will be smaller, it's not. What I said you in the definition, the other ion should have a tendency to get polarized. So, the anion should be larger, so that when anion is larger, the electrons which is present in the outermost shell, it behaves almost as a free electrons. And when this cation comes closer to it, it can pull the electrons towards itself and hence it gets polarized. Got it? If the anion will be larger, distance from the nucleus will be more, then the electrons present in the outermost shell will behave as a free electrons. It will behave as a free electrons. And hence, when a cation comes closer to it, cation means if it is small in size, means it behaves as a proton, we can say that. Alright, so it can pull the electrons towards itself. The pull will be much more. More is the pull, more it gets polarized. Alright, higher is the pull, higher it gets polarized. And that is possible when this ion is having a tendency to get polarized. And it will have a tendency when the size is large. Alright, I have explained it. The large size of the anion, we can say that. Next, large charge on either of the, what you can say, ions. Large charge on either of the ion. If the charge will be larger on either of the ion, whether it is a cation or an ion, Then what will happen is that with increasing charge in the ions, electrostatic attraction of the cations for the anions increases with increasing charge. Because if the charge is increasing, the cations become smaller in size. The nuclear charge is increasing. So it can pull the anions more readily towards itself. For example, suppose you are having aluminium chloride, you are having magnesium chloride, you are having sodium chloride. Now aluminium chloride will be more polarize a chloride ion than magnesium, then sodium, because aluminium has got higher charge. Al3 plus will more polarize it compared to Mg2 plus, compared to I can say Li plus also, or if you say in the same period, then it is Na plus. Why? Because the charge is more. Though if the charge is more, the size is smaller. Size of the cation will be small, and as I said, if it is smaller, it can pull readily the anions towards itself. So large charge on either of the two ions, and either of the ions, we can say that. Same thing here also, same thing. Suppose instead of aluminium chloride, magnesium chloride, sodium chloride, if I take the what you can say phosphate ion, sulfate ion, and chloride ion. So phosphate means PO4 3 minus. Got it? Sulfate means SO4 2 minus. Chloride means Cl minus. So phosphate will be more easily polarized than sulfate, then chloride. Same reason, we can say that. Next, what do you find is that difference should be more. Now how the difference should be more? In the presence of medium. If the so next factor is the fourth factor, I am writing it here, the presence of medium. Now if it is a polar medium, polar, it will keep the cations and anions far apart from each other. It will keep far apart from each other unless and until they will not come closer. How it will get polarized? How it will get polarized? So presence of medium plays an effective role here. If it is a polar medium, it will keep the cations and anions far apart from each other, and hence it will not get polarized. But the non-polar medium brings closer to each other, and hence it will get easily polarized. What is the presence of medium plays also an effective role. Next is, last is your electronic configuration, pseudo noble gas configuration. We can say that pseudo noble gas configuration. What do you mean by this? What is mean by pseudo noble gas configuration? See, if you see the electronic configuration of copper and that of sodium, means copper chloride and sodium chloride, if you say, then copper chloride has got pseudo noble gas configuration, due to which it is more polar in nature. That means it has got more than 8 electrons in the outermost shell. Copper has got more than 8 electrons. In case of CuCl, Cu plus has got more than 8 electrons in the outermost shell. We can say that. So that is called a pseudo noble gas configuration. Noble gas means it should be 8. Got it? So as the out of the two ions, that is CuCl, got it, Cu plus and Na plus. So this is got pseudo noble gas, but it has got a noble gas configuration 8. So as it has got pseudo noble gas configuration, the charge is more. Got it? So hence generally it is said to that 8 more than 8 means it is maximum up to 18 it can extend. Maximum up to 18. So out of the ions having same size and charge, the ion with pseudo noble gas configuration have got 18 electrons in the outermost shell. Or it will have higher polarizing power with a cation than the one which has got 8 electrons in the outermost shell. Got it? That is, the one which has got 18 got higher polarizing power of the cation with a noble gas configuration which has got 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So example is copper chloride and sodium chloride. So hence, so out of this polarizing, what you can say, factors affecting polarizing power, we have got small size of cation, then the large size of an ion, then large charge in either of the ions, presence of the medium, and pseudo noble gas configuration. If it is having pseudo noble gas, again I repeat, then definitely the charge will be more, we can say that, and hence it can be easily polarized, we can say that. Alright, so same size and charge, the ions with pseudo noble gas configuration will have higher polarizing power. So you may say how charge is more. Now charge is more means it has got higher polarizing power due to more number of electrons. That is, for that reason I say charge is more, due to more number of electrons in the outermost shell. Got it? Charge more means does not mean 3 plus, 4, 2 plus and plus here in case of pseudo noble gas. Understand carefully, understand properly, I mean to say. Got it? Otherwise if you say this charge is same, it is same, see here, same. It is Cu plus, Na plus, it is same. Size is same. But this has got pseudo noble gas, this has got only noble gas. It has got more number of electrons, it has got less number. More number means more polarizing power. That's it. Now, here one more term you need to understand is ionic potential. Ionic potential. Denoted with the letter, what you can say, psi. Psi, you can say that. You have read it psi already. This is psi. ionic potential. So what is ionic potential? Ionic potential is charge on cation but radius on cation. Charge on cation by radius of cation. We can say that. Charge by radius ratio, that will give you the ionic potential, we can say that. So ionic potential, it is defined in this way. It is the measure of the polarizing power of the cation and is defined as the charge of the cation to the radius of the cation, we can say that. It is the measurement of polarizing power of the cation. It is defined as the measuring power of the the polarizing power of the cation, I should say that. That is known as what you can say the ionic potential. Again I repeat, if you don't understand, if you have not, it is not clear, again I repeat, that is ionic potential. It's a measure of the polarizing power of the cation, which can be found by charge on cation by radius of cation. Now it's clear. Fine. Now next is large is the ionic potential, higher is the ionic potential. Alright, associated with a strong polarizing power. Alright, if the ionic potential is higher, then it is associated with strong polarizing power. That is, it has got associated with strong polarizing effect. That means if the polarizing effect will be more, then increased covalent character will be there. Listen carefully. If the value is higher, this value is higher, then the polarizing effect or the polarizing power will be more. That means there will be increased covalent character. If it will polarize, then it will have more of increased covalent character. Got it? Fine. So in this way, what elements have close ionic potential? Listen now carefully, the uses. The elements having close ionic potential have got similar properties. Now, here we have already read diagonal relationship. Alright, diagonal relationship, that is lithium, beryllium, boron, in this way, like sodium, magnesium, aluminium. So what we find is that these element and this element have got diagonal relations. This and this element have got diagonal relationship. Do you know what is it? One of the reason that due to diagonal relationship, what it happens? They have got similar ionic potential. Hence they have got similar properties. Got it? That is, diagonal relationship in periodic table is attributed to almost similar ionic potential. So lithium, magnesium has got similar ionic potential. Beryllium, aluminium has got similar ionic potential. So hence they have got similar properties. That is a diagonal relationship. Diagonal relationship means when elements, some of the elements in period 2 and period 3, when diagonally placed, have got similar properties. We have read it already in periodic table. So why it has got similar properties? Because they have got similar ionic potential. Alright, due to which they have got similar properties. We can say that. Increase in potential, next point is that increase in ionic potential leads to greater solvation of the cation. Generally, what you find is that covalent compound is not soluble, you know that, they are in water. But increase in ionic potential leads to greater solvation of cation, or solvation or hydration energy increases. Hydration energy increases, we can say that, with an increase in ionic potential. This favors in dissolution of ionic compound in water. Like, here also we can explain about the ionic compound. Alright, a particular ionic compound, why it is soluble in water? Why it is soluble in water? Because it has got higher ionic potential. Alright, so due to higher ionic potential, dissolution capacity increases, hydration energy increases. I have said you in this solubility. If hydration energy is more than the lattice energy, then solubility increases. So here, if the ionic potential is more, then what happens is that solvation of ions, solvation means dissolution of ions, dissolution of cation increases. With increase in solvation power, what you find is that hydration energy increases. With increase in hydration energy, the compound or the cation is more soluble in what you can say water. That is, ionic compound is more soluble, we can say that. Now carbonates and nitrates have high value of what you can say the ionization, ionic potential, not ionization potential, ionic potential, and thermally they are what you can say less stable and readily they decompose for that particular purpose to give respective carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. For example, calcium carbonate gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. The thermally they are less stable in nature. Like calcium nitrate decomposes to give calcium oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So they give nitrogen dioxide and carbon dioxide gases. Why? Because they have got high value of ionic potential, carbonates and nitrates. And due to the high value of ionic potential, what you find is that they are less stable in nature. Thermally, they are less stable in nature. And hence they decompose readily to give carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide gas. Now this is because what you find is that with high ionic potential, with a higher value of ionic potential of the cation, it draws the electron cloud of the neighboring ions towards itself. Like calcium ions with a high ionic potential will draw the carbonate ions towards itself. When it will draw the carbonate ions towards itself, what will happen? You will be thinking that when it is drawing the carbonate ions, what you can say, that is towards itself, electron of the carbonate ions towards itself, then it will form a strong bond. No. What you find is that less energy is released. The bond is less stable. Just now I said you. It is pulling, but the bond is less stable. Due to which, even if they come closer to each other, it will not result in the formation of stable compound. Mind it, calcium ions pulling the carbonate ions due to high ionic potential. It is pulling. It is pulling the carbonate ion. It is pulling the nitrate ion. But this does not mean it will form a strong bond. No. What is it form? Thermodynamically or thermally, it is less stable. So as you heat, there what will happen is that carbonate molecule will decompose. Nitrate molecule will decompose, we can say that, and it will give you nitrogen dioxide gas, oxygen gas, or carbonate will decompose to give you carbon dioxide gas. In this way you will be getting it. That means ultimately calcium ions will pull the oxygen ions towards itself. Got it? Why? Because oxygen is smaller molecule, smaller ion, and it is more stable in nature. Nitrate bigger, but oxygen ion is more stable in nature. Smaller ion, it is more stable. So calcium pulls the oxygen. Of course, it pulls nitrate and carbonate. But thermodynamically it is less stable in nature. Thermally it is less stable in nature. Then what is going to happen? It will decompose. What will decompose? Carbonate will decompose to what? Carbon dioxide and oxygen. Nitrate will decompose to nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. And hence it is going to form what? Calcium ions now goes with the oxygen ions to form calcium oxide. Calcium ion now goes with the oxygen ion to form calcium oxide. For that reason I said calcium carbonate on heating will give you calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium nitrate on heating, I said you, for that reason will give you calcium oxide and nitrogen dioxide. It will give you, and oxygen gas will be released. Alright, this is the reason of ionic potential, so to say. Thank you.